Have you ever felt like you've got the faith, but you're just not seeing the results you want in your life? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful framework for turning that faith into a real-world strategy for conquest. This isn't about just passively hoping for the best. It's about active, concrete principles for achieving success. So let's dive right in. Okay, we're going to kick things off with a pretty startling idea. The concept that the words coming out of your own mouth might be the very thing sabotaging everything you're trying to build. Yeah, that your tongue could literally have the power to destroy the work of your hands. So that brings us to a really crucial question, one I want you to honestly think about for a second. Could it be that your casual complaints, those jokes you make about failing, or just your negative self-talk, could they actually be canceling out all of your hard work? In this explainer, we're going to move from just identifying the problem to finding a solution. We're going to unpack 4 key principles, 4 actionable steps for aligning what you do and what you say with your faith. And we'll wrap it all up with the one crucial mindset that makes the whole thing click. So, principle number 1. It's all about watching your words, understanding the incredible power of declaration. The core idea here is that what you say directly shapes the reality you're going to experience. Let's see how that plays out. So this framework basically lays out 2 totally different paths you can take with your speech. On one side, you have self-undoing talk, saying things like, nothing is working. That's seen as actively tearing down your own progress. But the alternative is making faith declarations, consciously speaking victory, talking about positive outcomes, even when things look tough. It's a choice, really, between language that demolishes and language that builds. And listen, the stakes here are really high. The source material compares negative speech to a tiny spark that can set your entire life on fire. This goes way beyond just positive thinking. It's presented as a critical strategy to literally protect your future from your own words. Now, principle 2 builds directly on that first one. Stay consistent. This is all about the absolute necessity of having a steadfast, unwavering mind. Because let's be real, it's one thing to speak faith when things are good, but it's a whole other thing to maintain it when you're facing challenges. So how should we look at challenges? Well, according to this framework, a challenge isn't there to stop you, it's there to test you. It shows up with one single direct question. Where's your faith? It's basically a pop quiz to see if your belief is consistent or if it's going to crumble under a little pressure. And this framework has a specific term for that inconsistency, double-minded, believing one day and then filled with doubt the next. The source is crystal clear on this. That kind of instability means you shouldn't expect to receive anything. So consistency isn't just a nice to have, it's presented as a non-negotiable requirement for seeing results. And that leads us perfectly into principle number 3, and it's a big one. Refuse to quit. This is the mandate of perseverance. It's built on the belief that your victory is already secured. From this point of view, the only way you can actually lose is if you decide to walk away from the fight. And to really drive this home, let's look at a case study that's rooted in this simple but super profound truth. Think about it. Nobody is born a giant. Every massive success story you've ever heard of had a humble beginning. The story that's shared in the source material starts in a simple 2-room office. The rent was just 100 naira a month. The entire team, only 5 people. And get this, there was a single common toilet for the whole building. The point is, those huge global ambitions, they often start small. The real key is that they start, and that the people behind them don't quit when things are tough. And that's the real takeaway here. The belief is that your conquest has already been decided. It's not a question of if you'll win, but when. The only thing that can cause failure is you choosing to quit. Perseverance is what takes you from that little 2-room office to your global destiny. All right, our 4th principle kind of ties everything together. Acknowledge your source. And this isn't just about being humble. It's framed as a powerful engine of gratitude that actually fuels more success and more increase. So why does this matter so much? Well, the source suggests that acknowledgement is the actual mechanism for preservation. When you get a victory, a promotion, that breakthrough you've been waiting for, giving thanks to the source is what sustains that blessing and sets you up for even more. Here's how that cycle works. It's pretty simple. First, you get a result. Your immediate next move is to consciously and deliberately give thanks. That act of gratitude then preserves what you've gained. And from that place of preservation, you unlock the next level of increase. See? It's a continuous upward cycle, and it's all fueled by Thanksgiving. Okay, so we've got our 4 principles, but none of them work without this last absolutely crucial piece we mentioned at the start, taking personal responsibility. This framework is very clear that victory is never automatic. It has to be actively pursued by you. The source material has this incredibly urgent, super direct call to action. It's a wake-up call against being passive, against just sleeping on your problems and hoping they'll magically disappear. It's a command to engage, right now. And this slide just makes the point so practical. The analogies are simple, but they're powerful, right? Just like no one else is going to brush your teeth for you or take a bath for you, this framework states that no one else can confront your challenges for you. You have to shift your focus from complaining about what you don't want and start taking direct responsibility for the victory you do want. So, we're going to end with this. After hearing these principles, watching your words, staying consistent, refusing to quit, and acknowledging your source, it all comes down to action. What is the one challenge, big or small, that you will stop sleeping on and decide to take full responsibility for, starting today?